And so the trial for Bear, Dylan and Paddy has begun. That was so good. Simo was supposed to be our star witness, and he's literally went and undid the whole thing. And obviously we weren't planning, like, Bear was not meant to be going on the stand. We were trying to keep him off because he's too vulnerable and everything, and we were just going to let the evidence of everyone else just explain that Ray and Celia were like nutcases and nutters, and actually Bear just did what he had to do. And we were hoping it would prove our point, but Simo has basically got this massive grudge against Bear, thinks that Bear was like Ray's favourite, and he's basically went on the stand and said all of this, which does not bear good and does not look good for Bear or for any of them. So basically we're now going to have to put Bear on the stand because it's our only option of like getting through with this. Honestly, I'm not sure what way this is going to go. Like, I don't have any idea how this is going to go at the moment. But yeah, it was really good today. So obviously it was still trial day and we were wondering what was going to happen. Love the twist that Paddy was the one that got guilty. Obviously he got a suspended sentence, and Dylan and Bear both got no guilty. I know it's not how they wanted, but at least it's over because it's a suspended sentence, and Paddy's so good that like he won't serve it, he won't do anything that's going to make him serve it, and I feel like Paddy would absolutely do this all again for his dad in a heartbeat. The love they have for each other is so sweet, but like obviously it's going to affect Paddy's life now that he's got this charge that he's been found guilty about, because it's going to be different for him. And then I loved Bear's big monologue as well, talking about modern slavery and everything that he's been through, and Bear saying that he now realises that actually Paddy saved him and no Ray, like you were the one that saved me, was just everything. So Mandy's struggling at the salon. I think we already all knew this, we were kind of guessing that something was wrong. And yeah, she's finally told Paddy, so hopefully it's going to be alright now. And also Paddy has his hearing tomorrow to see with the vet board and stuff, so hopefully he still keeps his job. So Dr. Todd is still at it. Vanessa was so stupid here, like how she doesn't understand what is going on. But I'm glad that Jacob's told Sarah now, because Sarah obviously knows now, so that's good, because I feel like he needed to tell somebody that was actually going to believe him before he exploded. Well, obviously Dawn was having a bit of a wobble at first, but she's managed to do what she needed to do, and Joe's took the bait. Obviously she was like, oh, I wish I could own take of him, and he immediately was like, oh yeah, well how can't you, like I'll do it. So yeah, he's took the bait, which, oh god, I don't want to be any of them when he finds out what they've done though. So amazing news for Paddy, he's keeping his job, and Mandy's kind of getting a job helping Ruby, which I kind of love, and Caleb is still keeping Dylan on at the depot, so it's all good. It seems to be going in a good direction. Well, it just keeps getting worse for poor Jacob. Obviously we come to find out that basically Caitlin has put in a complaint against him, which is obviously not good. Nobody wants to have a complaint against them, and obviously she has, which isn't very good at all. So yeah, and then Jacob obviously goes there and tries to have it out with her, and he tries to record it, but of course she gets it and deletes it and stops it and everything. So yeah, it's just getting like more and more frustrating for Jacob, basically trying to work out how he's going to get this fixed. I'm really enjoying Sneaky Dawn, honestly, I really actually am. Obviously Billy found out about the pregnancy today as well. Yeah, I'm enjoying Sneaky Dawn. I really hope that Dawn's the one that gets one up over on Joe, because she deserves it. She's been through a lot and she's stuck by his side through a lot, and I feel like, for me, I feel like Dawn needs to prove to everybody else that actually, like, she doesn't agree with what he's done, and I feel like her getting one over on him and doing what she's doing to him is actually going to prove that. I love Mandy trying to fix stuff at Caleb's and stuff, but honestly this might be a good little side hustle for her. Like, she wants to give everybody manicures and everything. That actually might be a good little side hustle, and it might make the girls work a little better, and some of the boys possibly. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I genuinely don't think that Dr. Todd, that Caitlin is actually retired. I feel like she's obviously putting on this show and everything for Jacob, but I don't know, I just still feel like there's more to this. I don't think that she's actually just going to leave it all and give it all up that easily. And then Kane and Moira are obviously getting all prepped for next week for his operation, and obviously we're all hoping that it goes well this time, because the first time obviously it never, when he got run over before it happened, and it all went horribly wrong. So we're all hoping that he gets to do it this time and all goes as it should go, basically. So obviously today was the start of basically all the aftermath from Murder Week last week. We still don't know who's done it yet. I'm hoping they keep this a mystery for a bit, which I think is obviously going to happen. But I loved all the Carol and Debbie stuff. Obviously, Carol's woken up. Honestly, it does reel you in and you do believe him, even though you know that like he's going to do something again and you really shouldn't believe him. But it does reel you in when he acts all that soppy way and acts like, oh, I really love you and all of this. It kind of does drag you in a bit. And then poor Todd, I mean, I know what Theo's done to him, but it still couldn't have been easy and wasn't easy to have to see that, and he's now going to have to go through it. And it doesn't matter what any of the rest of us think, he did love Theo no matter what, and although he was a nasty piece of work and he wasn't nice to him, but he still loved him, and nobody can really say that he didn't. So yeah, it's going to be hard for him for a bit, I think. But hopefully when Todd picks himself up from all of this, he might be stronger and realise that actually if I got through something like that, I can deal with anything that comes my way. And so trying to find out who this was that did this to Theo obviously begins. So George got arrested for it because of the blood on his shirt and everything from the struggle that he and Todd had at getting him into the bathroom that night, which we saw. Christina actually thinks that George has done something, because she's saying like, he never told me that he was gone for a walk, he never told me any of this, and she's definitely thinking that he's done something. Yeah, she's definitely thinking that George has done something because he was so upset that night. And it is true what she did say, the only person that knows who killed Theo is the one that killed him, that is still walking around. The only one who knows what they've done is them, which is really true. So Shona was still fretting about Jodie, and she's wondering what happened, and basically she finds out about Jodie and David. David tells her the truth about what's went on, and they kind of get past it. They don't really argue about it too much, but then Kit comes in and says that he's found out that it was Sarah's blood that was at the Platts, which obviously we knew was going to be the case, but he says that there was also another match, which is Jodie's. Obviously we know it's because what's happened, I think, is when Jodie's obviously hurt Sarah, she's hurt herself at the same time, so she's been bleeding as well. But the police are now thinking that whoever hurt Sarah has taken Jodie. Obviously that's not true. Jodie's just fled because she hurt Sarah, but yeah, that's what the police are thinking. So Debbie is disappointed in Ronnie. She's disappointed at what's happened with Carol and everything. Honestly, Debbie just needs to wake up sometimes. So Mel can be quite persuasive when she wants to be. So she visits Maggie and basically demands her son, or if she doesn't let the boys come with her, she's going to tell Ben all about Alan and what Maggie's done to who Ben obviously thought was his dad back at the time. So guys, I literally just seen this, but Corey have said who their suspects are. So there's Summer, Christina, Danielle, Todd, George, or Gary. Honestly, I would love for it to be any of them, to be fair. They're all good suspects. I don't know so much about Danielle. I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind if there was a twist with Danielle, because I'm kind of thinking that it might be Danielle, the twist with Danielle being that she actually was abused by Theo, and when she heard that he was doing the same to Todd, she eventually snapped, and it's her that's done something, but who knows. I also wouldn't really mind if Todd himself did it, considering everything that we all know that Theo did to him. So I'm thinking that Shona is obviously still angry at Jodie doing what she's done, and she's obviously leaving these voicemails just to try and get her to come home in any way, but I still think she's really angry. I'm actually enjoying Mel. Like, I'm wondering if she's actually going to get her way, because her and Maggie are actually so good together. Like, they do go toe to toe. So yeah, I'm feeling like Mel's going to have to get her way at some point, but like, it keeps being put off. Like Maggie was saying, I'm going to convince him till it will come with you, and then it's getting put off, so we shall see. So obviously we still had the whole investigation for Theo's death going on, and the next person they pulled in has been Christina, so they had still kept George, and George was getting really annoyed at it, and then they let George out, and now they've pulled in Christina. Honestly, they're basically trying to build a case against George and stitch George up at the minute. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced that it's George, but I'm not convinced that it couldn't have been him either. And then obviously Gary deleted CCTV footage, and Summer saying to Gary, like, keep it to yourself that I was upset. So does Summer maybe have something to hide? The fact that she didn't want anyone to know that she was upset about anything? Well, gang, it is all going on the street, isn't it? So basically, Jodie has overheard David and Shona talking about her. She was also the one that left the half-eaten sausage roll in the house. But yeah, what is Jodie going to do? I'm thinking she might come back up before tea time, because she's not going to want them going to the police to say about the haulage guys. So are we thinking that Maggie is convinced Ben? I mean, she's tried, doesn't she? But the thing is, I don't know if Ben's going to listen. Like, will Ben actually still let Will go with Mel? I don't know. Well, Daniel, I really enjoyed Daniel today, actually. Obviously, he lost his rag with Hope, because basically Hope was poking and prodding him about Megan. Hope has always kind of been like this, and yeah, here she is again, and obviously it's riled Daniel up, like her saying what she was saying and everything like that. So yeah, it's kind of annoying really for Daniel, to be honest. And then we had Gary and Maria. Obviously, I actually really enjoyed Gary and Maria. I really did. Obviously, Maria went to the police when Gary was getting questioned and said to the police that he was with her the whole time. But we come to find out when Sally and Tim are in the bistro a little bit later on that actually Gary didn't leave the yard at 10:15 like he said. He left at 2 minutes past 10, as it shows in Sally's picture. So yeah, it's all coming together nicely. I'm enjoying it so far, and I am excited to see who has done it to Theo. Although I'm not going to lie, Sarah, for the very first time, I know that she doesn't seem to be in the lineup of suspects, but Sarah for the first time made me a little bit suspicious today. So yeah, who knows, it could go anyway, but I really hope it's somebody good and somebody that we kind of want to do it. So yeah, I'm just enjoying the story, following along and waiting to see who ends up having done it, basically. Well, Danielle was back, so obviously she's realised that Todd has been right about Theo all along. She's kind of thought about their relationship and how things were with them, and although like he didn't hit her, but it seems like he still made all the decisions and still had a lot of the control. So she started to realise that actually maybe that wasn't right either. And there was a nice scene with her and Todd actually where they had the whole conversation about it and kind of told each other, look, I'm here if you need anything and all of that. And then also talking to the Theo situation, we come to find out that Gary and Todd are in cahoots. Basically, Todd asked Gary to scare Theo off that night, and that was all that Todd wanted. He obviously didn't want him dead, but obviously in Todd's head, Todd's now thinking that Gary's actually killed him. I don't think that's what's happened. I think there's something more than something else happened, because making Gary do it is just too easy. And I think there's so much more that we haven't quite figured out yet. Jodie turned back up as well. I kind of guessed yesterday that this was going to happen, like she was going to come back because she doesn't want them going to the police. And obviously she started off telling a load of lies, hasn't she? Because she's tried to say that she never seen Sarah, she doesn't know anything about Sarah getting attacked, and that's all rubbish because we know it was her. So yeah, that's all going to come out. Like surely Shona and David and Sarah are going to find out that Jodie was the one that attacked her. Well, Daniel, drink is not the answer. Obviously, Daniel got suspended. I think he just needed to. I think he needs a little bit of time to kind of just think about and process what's happened and process the fact that Megan did use him as a cover-up. Will is also going to Scotland with his mum, which, I'm not going to lie, maybe it's what he needs. Maybe he'll come back having realised what Megan's done and what has actually happened to him, and maybe being away from it will actually help him, like, process it so much more. Maybe it is what he actually needs.